if you're going to stay in an environment where it is going to affect how you grow your child, how your children are grown, where your mental space is at, where you feel like you're drowning, leave.
Stuff from the cuffs, stuff from the cuffs. If you had it back there and you're looking for a smile, bringing hope and joy for a day that was wild. Stuff from the cuffs is here to make things bright. In the world so dark, they're bringing some light. Stuff from the cuffs, stuff from the cuffs, stuff from the cuffs, stuff from the cuffs, stuff from the cuffs. Go Bria, go Bill, go Bess, go Brian. Stuff from the cuffs, stuff from the cuffs.
He's back. I know you guys missed him, and I am sure that he missed you too. Welcome back, babe. Welcome back. Are you gonna cry? No, you're not.
Guys, I missed you. And I'm going to do a video soon to tell you why I was away and what
For a
that
week.
was like. Yeah, but I'm back and tenants in the building.
Ooh. Welcome back, guys, to another video right here on Stuff from the Cuffs, where we give you fire, we give you fun, we give you
Inspiration.
we're real.
And we're educational.
Welcome back, guys. I'm Basilia. This is Brian. To all our new subscribers, welcome to the channel. So happy to have you. All our returning residents, our citizens, permanent residents. I hear some people start saying that they're my green card holders on the channel. Yup. Thank you guys so much. We love you. We appreciate you. And we thank you for being a part of our journey right here on YouTube. Thank you so much.
Yep, and for those who are not yet paying their rent and they're squatting, feel free. We are open. We would love to accommodate you. So just click subscribe. And for those who already own shares, feel free to divest your shares and tell other people and boss them.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Tell somebody about Stuff from the Cuffs today as we continue our journey to 10K by May. And guys, it's very important that you turn on your post notifications, all right? Because that's the only way you'll know every time we drop some new content.
And
Right.
today, our new content is topical, it's interesting, it's controversial. Welcome to another episode of Yes, Nah. So, the royal couple, well, one of the royal couples, Harry and Meghan, did an interview with the great Oprah Winfrey. And we have learned several things. And we're not talking about what explosive bombshells they revealed, but there were some little things that we picked up and some things that we want to talk about and to share as we learn from Harry and Meghan. And the first one is...
So we're talking about what Harry and Meghan taught us about marriage. So Brian is going
what
to do
their
the first
recent
one.
revelations.
Yes,
Their recent interview.
revelations.
The truth is that marriage can be a lonely place. Marriage can be a lonely place. Some time ago, I spoke about how marriages destroy friendships. Marriages destroyed family systems as well. Because again, when I speak about marriage, I say it's the birth of something new, but it's the death of two individuals in a certain way. Yep. So marriage is a lonely place. And they are a part of a big institution. They are a part of a lot of glitz and glamour, but they were lonely in a vacuum, so to speak, in a huge castle where there are so many people who are supposed to be there for them, but even then, they were on a journey by themselves.
And it can be a lonely place for those of us also who don't live in castles, right? Especially when you find yourself in a situation where maybe from the get-go, persons did not agree with the union, because we have seen a lot of comments from persons saying that, there is a particular family member or a set of parents who don't necessarily agree with what is taking place, don't necessarily agree with the union. And so sometimes couples find themselves in a position where they are alone. They are alone. So that's one of the first things that we picked up from that, because it is not only a reality for those who are a part of institutions like that, it can also be a part of your reality and my reality, especially when the conditions surrounding the marriage may not be as favorable as you want it to be. It can become a lonely place. And that is why it's very important that you hold strong to each other. Hold strong.
And that is point number 2. Because it can be a lonely place, because it can be a place where you are struggling for air outside of the marriage. And when I say struggling, I don't mean like you're suffocating, but I mean that the systems that you're used to and the environments that you're used to are no longer existing. It's important to have good spousal support, because the two are now one, because the two of you are in this ship together. It's important that you have each other's backs.
Yeah, very, very important. And one of the things that I really loved about the parts of the interview that I saw was the fact that you could literally see them at every step of the way during their journey, no matter how tough it got, they had each other's backs. And that is something that I always emphasize to couples, those who are getting married, that at the end of the day, you should have your spouse covered. At the end of the day, your spouse should know without a doubt, without any question in their mind, that you are there for them. You want to ensure that your partner is not only assured of that through words, but through actions as well.
Yep. And the next one is the importance of opening up in a relationship. Now, especially coming from a culture where us as men have been grown up in a culture of silence, where our emotions don't matter, it matters, but to a lesser extent, or it is forced upon us to not cry, to not talk, to not express ourselves, and to deal with things however we choose. Football, games, exercise. And it really sometimes doesn't truly fix the situation. So it's important for us to have that sort of openness in a relationship. Harry said something, and I don't quote me verbatim, but he said that Meghan saved him. And I can say that my wife has saved me. There were times in my life where I was just giving, and I was dry and I was at my lowest point, and she helped me to understand that I also can receive. She gave me so much joy. She gave me, so much hope in rough times, and even sometimes when my rough times continue. Having there has really been a source of strength. God has really helped her to help me to be a better person, because I could be looking back on my life. I should be bitter. I should be in a mental institution. I should be, in some cases, I should not be here. But you played a big role in that. And it's really important to be able to have that somebody who you can say, I don't feel like I can make it through this. And for that person to have your back, to tell this person, say, boy, if, like Meghan said, if I'm alone, I might hurt myself. It got so bad, and for her to have somebody she could rely on to tell that, to help see her through, is very important. And a lot of reasons, in my view, a lot of relationships struggle is because there's not this openness. And because I am locked away, not seeking help, then she doesn't know how to help me, and I end up sinking, and it causes us to sink, and a rift is formed.
I just want to take the time out to big up Good Girl Bubbles, a Good Girl Bubbles in the building. Yes, so it's very important. And as ladies, as wives, as women, sometimes we feel like we can shoulder it all. And we feel like we don't want to say certain things because we don't want it to be a burden to our husbands, because they're probably going through, their own set of struggles and trials and tribulations externally.
Like understand.
Or even feeling like they won't understand how we feel. It's very important that we remain open with our spouses and open with our partners about how we feel. Even if it feels foolish to talk about, still talk about it, because that is what you have that support system here for. At the end of the day, sometimes maybe all you have is each other in a particular moment. there are some things that you don't want to share outside of the marriage as well. So it's very important that you know that there's this open communication so that your partner knows exactly how you feel, exactly what you're going through. If you have to cry, cry. If you have to sit down and flesh it out in the best terms that you can so that your partner can understand, put the effort into ensuring that there is open communication.
Yep. The next one is dealing with hurtful comments in a relationship or in a family setting can take a toll on you as an individual, on you as a couple, and on your relationship with your wider family or friends.
Yeah.
Whew, that one was loaded when she spoke about somebody in the family making a comment about the skin color of the baby. And
The possible
skin color. And we have not had any situation like that, but there have been situations where sometimes snide remarks, sometimes unintentional hurtful remarks, sometimes intentionally hurtful remarks. But generally speaking, I think it is from a place of I won't even say ignorance, but a place of not understanding the weight of your words have come up, and it is important that you deal with them as a couple. Yeah, how you approach it together, united, how you have your spouses back, again, as we said. And most importantly for me is understanding that the devil don't like your relationship.
Right.
So he will do things to try and wedge animosity between you and even in your other family structure. So it's important to know that sometimes you might just need to say, boy, straight up, I never like that. Straight up, I don't think you should have said that. I don't like how you dealt with this. And then if the person insists, you distance yourself. If the person says, I didn't mean it that way and I'm truly sorry, then you work forward with that as well. But it's just important to know that you have to deal with these hurtful comments when they come.
Yeah, and especially when it comes on to children, that really touched me in a very soft spot because they're children. They're innocent to everything that is happening around them. They're innocent to, even the situations that they are born in or the families that they're born in. They don't have a choice. And so when you start talking about a child, it really rubs me the wrong way. I remember when Bria was growing up, when she was much younger, Bria was very chubby. When I said chubby baby, you could just eat her up. And sometimes persons, unintentional or not, sometimes persons made comments like, is she fatty? It was borderline fat shaming our baby. And there were times, and I'm going to be very honest with you, there were times where I answered in a way that Brian would have preferred me not to answer. I was very defensive and offended when persons would say it in a way that made me feel like, okay, maybe your child needs to lose weight. Mind you, maybe, that was not what they intended. But again, sometimes people just say things without even thinking. And now that we have two girls, y'all know Bria and Bella, right? And so Bria and Bella are two completely different individuals, personality-wise and the whole works. And we talk about being real, and so we share with you, right? So Bria looks more like the Chinese side of the family. So for those of you who don't know, Brian's grandmother is Chinese. So Bria looks like exactly like that side of the family. And then Bella now looks like the cuff side of the family. Is it cuff side? Yeah, the cuff side of the family. And so they look completely different. They have two different hair textures, the whole works. And I remember when Bella was much younger, when we went out before whole COVID, because now people only see them like on pictures and stuff. I remember persons used to make comments like, "Aren't you not pretty like Bria?" Or Bria have your hair and Bella have daddy hair. And sometimes they said it in such a way that if you aren't careful, of course Bella was very young, so she didn't really understand things. But then Bria started asking little questions. Bria started asking little questions like, is Bella's hair going to look like mine? Why is Bella's hair not as long as mine or feels like mine? And that kind of thing.
She can be inadvertently cultured into feeling a sense of difference or a sense of
inferiority
or superiority complex. So we have to protect that.
Oh, you mean Bria?
Yeah, whichever,
Right.
both of them.
Which of them? Yeah. Right. So we have to be so careful. And Brian's dad bought them a book, and I thought it was so amazing that it spoke about sisters who have two different kinds of hair and sisters, and just appreciating the whole mix that we have in this one family. And so, as individuals, and I'm talking about adults who made these comments, you have to be so careful about the things that you say, because I know if they were bigger children, it would have affected them differently. They're babies now, and we can protect them now from these kind of comments and the comparisons, which is not fair, and it's outright rude to me, right? We can protect them now, but then adults, we have a responsibility to not sow certain seeds in our children and sow certain things in people's lives. And it not only applies to children, but people overall. We just have to be careful with our words.
And it can borderline perpetuate a culture of difference or classism or superiority because of your hair or your complexion, etc. Just love. Yeah, just love. Just love. Dynamics of this world. Variety is the spice of life, they say. And the final one is knowing when to walk away, especially from toxic environments, no matter how close these persons may be to you. Now, let me preface this by saying we are Christians. We believe in forgiveness. We believe in love. We believe in everything that is good and perfect and that comes from God. But we also understand that if you allow yourself to be tethered by a heavy weight and you jump into the ocean, you are going to sink. God can give you the strength to walk on water, but if you take an anchor and dive off into the ocean,
you're going to sink.
You're going to sink. So, what they did was pretty remarkable, pretty profound, and pretty inspirational. To walk away from all that you had. And trust me, I'm going to make a comparison between God leaving his splendor and coming down to die for us. But
y'all know, Brian.
Walking away from the splendor of a castle, of royalty, of being considered a member of the royal family in certain regards, to fend for your own, to raise your own family in love, in peace, was remarkable. Now, I'm not saying to you, if you're in a situation, you should walk away from your family. I'm not saying to you that you should elope or you should do this all by yourself. Because again, it goes back to the first thing we said, which is the importance of understanding it can be a lonely place. And the second part, we spoke about spousal support, but it's also something that we should have also touched on, was having close support systems too.
Yeah.
Because they have people around them who are still supporting them. It's important because you can't do this alone. But if you're going to stay in an environment where it is going to affect how you grow your child, how your children are grown, where your mental space is at, where you feel like you're drowning, leave.
Yeah.
Leave. Your mental health is very important, especially in these times, in 2021, when we've overlooked it for so many years. It is very important that you have peace. Your peace of mind is important. Not just about riches, not just about success as the world puts it.
Or status.
Or status or money. It's about peace of mind. So many people have money, status, and they can't sleep at night. They're always under threat. What do you really want?
Yeah, and just to add to that, I won't add much because Brian basically covered all I was going to say. I am a strong believer, and we've said this in prior videos, I'm a strong believer in loving people from afar when having them close is toxic. I'm a strong believer in that because I'm a strong believer in protecting my peace, because I need my peace in order to translate that peace into my marriage, into being a mother, into the work that I do. I need to protect my peace so that I am my best self in order to be the best version of myself as a wife, as a mother, as a lecturer, as a broadcaster, the whole work. So I strongly believe and I stand firm with loving people from afar when having them close breeds toxicity. Don't agree with that any at all.
And please remember, she says loving them from afar. At no point did she say she hates. She's
cut them off and
that cancel culture.
Yeah.
Loving them from afar.
Loving them from afar.
Hi, how are you? You're good. Happy to see you. God
Courteous,
bless you.
Yeah.
If you need help, but not allowing that person to invade your space in a way where it affects you negatively.
Yeah.
The end. That interview, and we don't have any breaking news to talk about any pregnancy and the new birth of any child to top it off now. We don't. I'm sorry. We don't have any breaking news to talk about where we're now living in this new mansion, and we don't.
We don't have that.
We don't have all of those. We're just saying goodbye. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Yeah. So guys, remember to like, share, subscribe before you go and turn on your post notifications. We have some exciting news coming. Not about a baby, okay? Let me just put that out there. There's some comments already. We have some exciting news coming up. So make sure that you stay to this channel, stick to this channel, subscribe before you go, tell a friend about stuff from the Cuffs, and all the nicenesses will be revealed very soon.
Tell your uncle, sister, cousin, friend. Royal wave.
Adios, guys. This has been another video. We'll see you soon.